It's a rather breezy but still very mild mid to late October morning. I'm here. You may well recognise this as being Clipston Old Quarter, and you can see that some of the trees here at Clipston Old Quarter are starting to change. One thing has changed in the couple of weeks since my last visit here is that there's been an influx of redwings into the area. The 200 yards that I've walked so far after leaving the car, there's been a lot of redwings put up from the mountain ash that's here, but this particular area is well favoured by redwings over the course of the winter because of the hollies. Some of the hollies here are absolutely red with berries. It's an exceptional berrying year. But here for a wander round, I am looking for one species in particular, and it's another leaf miner. If I can find it, it will be new to the Sherwood Forest NNR, but also new to Nottinghamshire. It's a species, a leaf miner that's been considerably overlooked. Well, here's a great example of how many of the hollies are this year full. There are trees with even more berries on than this that I've seen, but this is a great example. A lot of people come here each year to collect masses of this stuff, bags and bags of the holly here at Clipston Old Quarter, and they use it for wreaths. Obviously doing it on a commercial basis. They'll have a really good year this year with the berries. Beautiful. Well, I'm just walking up this section of trackway. It's just a path that's been here over the years. It actually was section I of our former glowworm route, which if you continue back down behind the camera where I am, you went through section N, ultimately down to the lowest part of the site. But growing up here is this gorse. It's rather spindly because this path has become increasingly shaded, but on this gorse there's a larva. If I put this in front so that you can probably see it, in between my thumbs there is a hint of a silken tube, and there's a larva within that tube. You might be able to just see its chestnut coloured head at this lower end. I don't think it's a Tortrix species, but it could be, it could possibly be. But I rather think this might be one of the Agonopteryx larvae, of which there's a number of species of Agonopteryx. So for the benefit of finding out exactly what it is, I'm going to take this home and rear it through. Now, Agonopteryx, the majority of them overwinter as adults, so hopefully we can get this through to adult in a week or so, but it depends on the species and on my rearing skills. But because I don't know what it is, I'm going to take it home, try and rear it through. Hopefully it's not parasitised, and maybe in a few weeks we'll have an answer. There's a lot of sweet chestnuts in this section. Most of them are fairly young, but there are some old trees, a good 50 plus years old. The ground here is just carpeted with sweet chestnuts. They are everywhere, yet nobody's bothering with them. But it is a quiet part of the forest. Most of the usual chestnut areas are half a mile down the road. That's where everybody goes. But if you find some of the chestnut trees, of which there are many dotted around the forest in the quieter areas, you're in for a feast. Or potentially. There's some beautiful autumn colour on this particular type of oak, which I think is red oak, which is Quercus rubra. I've just had a quick check up on Google. Even I have to use Google sometimes. And that looks exactly what it is. Pretty certain. The trees, they're in various states of greenery and change into their autumn finery. And it is an autumn finery too. The only downside is that this is a tree native to North America, but it's well used in forestry. There's lots of this dotted around the more commercial forested areas of Sherwood Forest, including this part of Clipston Old Quarter. But the leaves, there are some younger trees tucked away in here, which is showing the most beautiful sort of salmon pink to bright vivid red, all the way through the spectrum through to yellows. It's an absolute picture. These red oaks are absolutely beautiful. Apparently it's a very fast growing timber, so that'll be why it's used a lot by Forestry England here. But this time of year, beautiful. It's funny when Natural England are so quick to want to eradicate any non-native tree in Sherwood Forest, certainly within the country park area, these get left. Sometimes the mind boggles. Well, at least mine does quite often. Beautiful. Certainly a beautiful splash of colour. Looks a picture, doesn't it, along this bit. Centre tree is just down there, but these red oaks, they do provide a host plant for at least two micromoths, one of the Philoneurycters, but I have seen the larva of Ectodemia albifasciella. I have photographed them, and I'll drop a photo or a couple of photos in here, because those mines are just really starting to get going now, and if you look for them, the mines are very easy to find, certainly in the Sherwood Forest area. But if you look now, the mines are occupied by the larva. The larva's a pale green with a pale brown head. Quite distinctive. I wonder how long these trees will stay here for. I doubt whether it'll be more than a decade. It will certainly change this top path here at Clipston Old Quarter. But there is the odd sweet chestnut tucked away as well. And the birch, of course, will soon go through. But it makes a great spot, this. It's always sheltered along here. It just looks glorious now. Well, here's the leaf mine that does contain a larva. This is on red oak, east I think it is. But you can see the mine, it's a very tightly contorted gallery mine. This of course is looking from above, and what I'll show you in a minute. if it works. I'll show you this leaf mine backlit against the sun, and that's the best way to view any leaf mines, having backlit against a light source of some description, be it the sun or artificial light. Well, hopefully this may well be somewhere near in focus, but you can see the lava in the mine. The lava is very pale green and the head is a very pale brown. The mine obviously starts off from the egg and starts off very thin, and then as the lava grows the mine widens. It's a very contorted gallery, but it continues to widen, but then more or less becomes a blotch as the lava approaches being nearly full grown. This has got a little bit more growing to do, but not much. It's probably a little more than 3.5, maybe 4 millimeters in length, but tremendous things, leaf mines. I can't understand why people just don't get interested in them. Of course, it's not all just micro moths that produce leaf mines. Leaf mines are produced by a number of beetles, especially weevils and some of the leaf beetles, and also diptera. There's a lot of dipterous mines, and hymenoptera as well, bees and wasps. There's a lot of wasp mines. But it's a fascinating world. To think that a caterpillar can be as thin or thinner than the actual leaf. Quite amazing. So that's the leaf mine and larva of Ectodemia albifasciella, and this one is on a leaf, a yellowing leaf of red oak. Well, it's been nice to have a bit of a wander around Clipston Old Quarter. We're just starting to lose that sun. But one of the highlights has been this particular tree, this red oak, which I'm accidentally helping to increase the earliness of the autumn for it. It's produced some beautiful autumn colours, and if you know where red oaks are in your neck of the woods, quite literally, well worth going to look for, because they're on the turn now and producing some beautiful colours. It's just a shame that more of our UK native species don't feed on this tree, but these leaves are quite leathery, very much reminiscent of London plane leaves, and they, like these do, take an age to break down. But of the two leaf miners that will feed within these leaves, we have found one of them, Ectodemia albifasciella, and it's well worth looking for that species. There are records of many a leaf miner and micromoth that your county recorder would absolutely love to have. We just need people to become less frightened and scared and get rid of that trepidation when it comes to micromoths. They're not the impossible things many people think, and many moth trappers will lead you to believe. So, until another day.